Good news for anyone who's been waiting for an American Express welcome offer to be boosted, because two of them have just been announced. One of them, I think, is potentially the most valuable version that they've had for a long, long time. The other one, a really, really good time to get hold of that card as well. And the good thing about the timing of these welcome offers coming along is that to get those boosted offers and to get any welcome offer with Amex cards, you normally need to spend a certain amount of money in a certain amount of time. So really you want to time that for high spend months. And with Christmas, just over a month away, the Black Friday sale is about to kick off. Potentially in January, a lot of people book their holidays as well and pay for holidays. This is, for most people, not everyone, but for most people, going to be one of the easiest times for just normal everyday spending to help get to those targets and trigger those bonuses. Now, before I get into what the actual bonuses are and how they work and who can get them, very quickly, just want to reiterate some stuff that I talk about. Whenever I talk about credit cards, I say this stuff, but it's really important to go over it again. The first one of these is, and it particularly applies to cashback credit cards, but it applies to all of them really. Make sure that you are only doing your everyday normal spending on these cards. Just because you've got access to them, just because potentially you've got a spending target to reach, doesn't mean you should be buying things that you wouldn't normally want to buy, and also not normally be able to afford to pay. This is just a different way of paying for things which you were going to buy anyway, in the most instances. Obviously, if you are someone who is in a situation where you don't have enough for essentials, then there are other things you should be doing. These cashback cards are not the answer. Because that brings me on to the second part that's really important to reiterate. You want to make sure you are clearing the balance completely every single month. So you spend on the card, then you get sent a statement and how much you need to spend on that. There's a minimum, right? You have to pay the minimum, but if you do that, you're going to get charged interest as well. You want to clear it completely so no interest is applied to your account. Because if you are getting charged interest, it's wiping out any money that you are making from cashback. So that's the other important thing. And then finally, when you do go to apply for these cards, make sure you do an eligibility search first of all. Now, again, this is the case for any credit card you want to go for. Soft search via an eligibility checker. Amex themselves, you can do this with them. It just basically gives you an idea of your likelihood of acceptance, because if there's a high chance that you'll get rejected, then you might want to think twice about applying, because whether you are successful or unsuccessful, when you make a full application, it will appear on your credit report and it will stay there. Again, I've spoken about that a number of times before. I won't go over it again, but just do that when you decide which card to go for. If either of these cards, if not a different card, do that eligibility search first of all. So, onto these particular American Express offers. The first one is for the American Express Platinum credit card. The other one is for the American Express Preferred Rewards Gold credit card. We'll just call it Amex Gold because it's easier. But I want to start with the Platinum one because it's potentially the most lucrative one that is out there. Not just from that boosted welcome offer, but the other kind of benefits that come with that card. Personally, I wouldn't be going for this card if you don't get the welcome offer, because there is a huge £650 annual fee. But when you combine all the bits together, I think this current iteration of the deal could be easily have the value of £1,200. And even with a fee taken off, you're looking at least a profit there, I would say, of 500 to 600 quid, if not more. So let's talk about, first of all, who can get this card. Now, unlike most other American Express welcome offers, the Platinum card is available to most existing customers. So the card itself, obviously you can get the cards if you successfully apply, doesn't matter. It's the welcome offer where the ruling is for most cards, you can't have had an Amex in your name in the last 2 years. With the Platinum, you cannot have had only 3 cards in your name in the last 2 years. The Platinum card itself, so if you've already got it or had it in the last 2 years, you can't get this welcome offer again. The Preferred Rewards Gold card, which we'll come back to in a minute, and the Rewards card. So as long as you haven't had one of those 3, then you'll be eligible for this welcome offer, as long as you are successful in getting accepted for the card and then meeting the other criteria. So really good one there. If you've already had a card, had a bonus, it's a great chance to get another one, which is a rare thing to do. So what you need to do is you obviously need to apply for the card. If you're successful to do that, you need to obviously do this before the 13th of January. That's when the promotion ends. So the 13th of January, last date to apply for the card with this promotion. And then starting on the day that you are successful in getting the card, you've then got 3 months to spend £6,000. So this is quite a lot. This is generally the card which has the largest spending threshold of all the Amex cards, which makes it one of the more difficult ones to get, which is why, doing it in a high spend period like potentially November, December is a good time to go for it. So obviously, if you don't think that your normal spending will reach £6,000 in 3 months, then you want to avoid this. You do not want to be going for it, because if you spend a penny less, you will not get the bonus, okay? So that one, unlike other times this offer has run, has not been increased. Normally when the Platinum card has a welcome bonus, it's increased to like 10 grand, but maybe over 6 months. This is staying at 6, but again, only over that condensed 3-month period. If you do that, then you will get 75,000 points. Amex points. These can be converted into a number of different things. You can convert them into Avios if you want. Personally, I think the easiest way to talk about them is converting them into either gift cards or Nectar points, which have a more monetary value. So you know exactly what they're worth. So you can do that. But also you're spending 6 grand in those 3 months. Every time you spend £1, you get another point. So actually, you're not getting 75,000 points, you're getting 81,000 points. And if you go via a refer a friend scheme, so anybody you know with any kind of American Express card, it doesn't matter which one they have, they give you a referral link. If it's for a different card, you just click a link which shows you all the cards. Then you can get an additional 10,000 points on top of that. So in total here, we are obviously looking therefore at 91,000 Amex points, which again, if you convert them, as I say, into Nectar points or into gift cards, it works out at about £455. So that is what those points themselves would be worth, which is really good, really lucrative. There have been higher ones than this in the past, but this one has another extra tier on top of it, because as well as those points, you'll also get a £250 credit for spending at Amex Travel. So you can use it on flights, you can use it on hotels, as long as you spend it in one go. So you can't spend 150 and 100, you have to spend 250 or more to get that 250 back on your card, and do it within 12 months, then that obviously is an extra huge bunch of cash to go back onto your value of that opening card. And then what I also really like about the Platinum, when you have got these welcome bonuses, again, I say I wouldn't pay for these normally, but you also get other promotions and other features which you can add on to that kind of total value of this offer. So every 6 months, you can get £100 to spend at selected UK restaurants. There's a lot of London ones, but around the UK, there are others such as the Ivy Brasserie. So you should hopefully be able to spend that easy enough. You'll get one lot of £100 credit to spend before the end of 2025. Then it will reset. You get another £100 until the end of June 2026, and another £100 taking you through until the rest of 2026. So let's assume you keep this card just for 1 year, just for 12 months, but you're hitting it, as long as you do this before the end of December, you're hitting 3 of those periods. There's another £300 to add on to the total value of that card, which I think is fantastic as well. Plus the card also has worldwide family travel insurance. If you're already paying for that, then that could easily be worth 150 quid, if not more. Of course, if you don't need that and you don't use that, then you don't want to put that into the equation. But I'm assuming you are going to factor that in. There's also airport lounge access across a number of them. It's not limited like you get maybe with other cards. It's not all of them, but it's a number of different access as well. And they're not giving a value to that. But again, you can see the advantage that if you are going to be flying a couple of times a year at airports that have that. I think you bundle those all together, the bonus points, the travel credit, the restaurant credit, and the travel insurance, and a bit of the airport lounges, you're easily looking at £1,200 worth of goods you're getting there. And if you were going to use those anyway, that is fantastic, right? And so factor in that £650 annual fee, and that brings us down still to a nice profit there of more than £500. And there are other offers, other promotions, other credits, which can easily add more to that over the year. So definitely think it's well worth considering going for this one if you are eligible for it. And a little hack here, you might be aware that a few years ago, American Express said they were going to end pro rata refunds on fees. And this is basically where you pay that annual fee up front, that $650 is up front, it's worth saying. You pay for it, but if you trigger the bonus, after 3 months, you get all your points and you decide you don't want it anymore, you cancel the card, you can then get a refund on what's left over from that fee. So if it was, say, halfway through the year, 6 months of the year, then you would get half that fee back. So again, that once again, if you don't want to keep the other things or take advantage of other credits, that can really help enhance, it will increase that level of profit you can get from this promotion. Just word of warning there though, if you are going to close down any Amex card that has its reward points, so the Platinum, the Gold, which we'll get to again in a second, or the reward card, and you haven't already used your points, then you lose them. So the trick here is to open up a membership reward card, which is free. There is no charge for that one at all. And that will mean your points stay alive. So you do that and then you cancel the other card. But again, once think about more detail, more information about this step by step, because I appreciate it's a lot that I've covered there over on becleverwithyourcash.com. Okay, But let's talk now about the other offer, the American Express Gold welcome bonus. Normally this is 20,000 points, but it's doubled to 40,000. Now, while it's been doubled, they've also changed the spending criteria. Normally you have to spend £3,000 in 3 months. It's now spending £6,000 in 5 months. So it is obviously a lot more to spend, but you've got longer to do it. So that will give you that 5,000 spend, another 5,000 points. You're looking at 45,000. And again, if you go via the refer a friend link, if someone can give that to you, it's another 5 on top of that. So we're looking at a total there of 50,000 points, which is worth 250 quid. Again, that's one of the highest valuations you're going to get of this particular promo from the gold card. It's hard to get more than that, I would say. So if you're going to go for the gold, this is the time to do it. Now, unlike the platinum, you will not be able to get this welcome bonus if you have had any American Express credit card in the last 2 years. Doesn't matter if it's open or closed, you will not be able to get it. This is really about newbies or ex-customers who have closed down the accounts completely for more than a few years. Now, the reason why you might want to go for this one over that platinum is the fact that this card is free for the first year. There is no charge at all for this. You get one of the highest welcome bonuses with no fee from Amex. After 1 year, though, the fee does come in. I think it's 195 quid, I think it is. It is not worth paying that. I don't see any advantages to keeping this one going after a year. But certainly, that first year, you get a nice big welcome bonus. You can also get little extras here. There's not as many extras with the gold as there is with the platinum. You can get £5 credit twice a month for Deliveroo. So you have to spend £10 at Deliveroo, but you get £5 back. Not a reason to get a takeaway, but if you're getting one anyway, it's a nice little extra little bit of profit you can put in your pocket. You also get a limited number, I think it's 4 Priority Pass Airport Lounge access. So not as vast as it is with the platinum, but if you're only going away a couple of times, then that will give you access for those particular trips. So it is a good one to think about there. Again, this one has got that increased spending threshold in that early period. So again, with both cards, you really need to make sure you can spend that amount of money in that amount of time, but you do have longer with the gold than you do with the platinum, and it is a little bit lower as well in terms of what that total spending is. Now, finally, in terms of keeping these cards for ongoing spending, once you've got those bonuses, they're probably not the best ones out there. The platinum card, that 1 point you get for every pound you spend, is roughly worth 0.5%. If you want to compare it to other cashback cards, that's what it is, 0.5%. You can beat that. The gold one has an extra kind of level to it because if you spend certain thresholds throughout the year, you get a bonus, but it goes anywhere between 0.5% to nearly 0.75%. So it's a little bit better, but again, I think you can comfortably beat that with different cards. Now, I've covered those elsewhere. You can look at our guide to the best cashback and reward credit cards and debit cards over at BeCleverWithYourCash.com to find your other options. But again, for the bonuses, I think right now you can't beat these, particularly the timing and the size of those bonuses. So if you are going to go for it, now is the time to do it. My name is Andy Webb. Thanks so much for watching. Check out these videos here for more ways to make the most of your money.